Hey. Shoot, I had came on and got off. I didn't think I was gonna show up until B-Town called me, uh, text me and said, "Why'd you sign off?" I said, "Didn't nobody come?" So I was just gonna do a video and not do the live until she contacted me. I'll give a few minutes. Mm-mm. I see Blazing, Rita baby. I see Blazing on with live. Tracy strikes again. Shaking my head. 5 Bay. Hashtag 5 Bay. Hashtag doxing butter. Before by Quantity. Yeah. It's so basically what they were saying is that what Tracy was saying is that he lied about the FBI. None of that was true. Because I listened to Quani. Hey, be down. Yeah, I listened to Quani, and no, it was Quani, but Tracy is the one that said that he had lied. Ain't no, there's no FBI. He don't have no FBI friends. Did I tell y'all that didn't sound right? FBI don't sit around and play footsies with some non special person. He probably be calling some number that he got set up to say whatever it is that he wants him to say. Yeah. The FBI, you can't play around with the FBI's phone or calling them with petty stuff like that. They not there for that. Mm-mm. If anything, you'll see them knocking on your door. They'll be knocking on your door if you're making false reports and keep calling their office with some BS. Now you may see FBI, but it won't be because of Kwani or Tracy or anybody else. It's gonna be because you keep calling them with some nonsense, because that's the way they're gonna look at it. Okay, let me see what I'm Rita baby. Mm-hmm. I spoken one. And, cause she likes going in the um, she exposed I spoken one Yeah, she like going in Jason's chat and chit chatting with him and listening to him. Yeah, she better watch. She better be careful. So, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? Uh, what's the name? Me and Pam. She likes hanging out in Jason's chat, and where most people will go and be in the bushes or the clouds and not go into the chat. But she does. She go in the chat. Yep. I seen Tracy. No, Tracy was saying something about Trish. She was in what? Jason's chat talking, saying something. I forgot what she said. Yeah, yeah. So it's a mess. So I know spoken go back and forth to Big Nation to Club Chat. She was like, oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, no. Most of y'all, yeah, I think most of y'all have seen my. I don't know about the people that's in. Well, I may not have any people in the bushes, but in the clouds. But I know y'all seen my video. Uh, and I know, some of the comments that I got. I really haven't received any bad comments. I, I, I got one from Perkette, in which is nothing wrong with what Perkette said. Um, they have their right to have their opinion, and they wasn't disrespectful to me, so I did appreciate that. And they said what they thought about it, and I said, yeah, I read just Shakira. And they said what they felt, and I just said thank you. You know, I appreciate them because we never have to. We're not always gonna agree, so and that's okay. And it wasn't like I said anything disrespectful. I just, like I said from the beginning, it's I'm telling, I'm saying how I feel, and no one, no two people is the same. So how I feel may not be the next person feeling. So it's okay. They, they can they can voice their opinion. But I think that's the only comment that I had that was you know felt different than what I did. It's six people in here and one thumbs up. Yeah, y'all hitting my thumbs up. Shakira. Uh, uh, you're going to put down there for them to hit that thumbs up so they won't forget. Because, I will forget. Uh, that lady, I don't know if y'all was, I know Shakira was in there when that lady that was on the phone. Did it took her so long. What was wrong with her? I thought to myself, is everybody that called in drunk all the time? Man, it took that woman a long time. And James is just so patient. I don't know where he get those patience from, but he is one patient man. I couldn't do it. I don't have the kind of patience. He just sit there and it don't bother him one bit. He'll just sit there and listen to it. Hey, Shay Jones, how you doing? I'm glad you made it. Yeah, I don't know how James got that patience. Boy, he have patience. Lord, I would have pulled my hair out. Yeah, I would have been sitting there making faces and I can't. I can't. He did it yesterday and the day before yesterday. It seemed like every drunk person that was drunk called in. It was like, my Lord, ooh, he got patience. That's all I can say. He has patience. Okay, I guess I might as well start. That guy can't take seriously at all. Oh, you're talking about Jason. He is like a kid. He gonna be worse than a kid if he keep on playing with the FBI. Get drunk and call in. Yeah, I think you're right. Cause I swear every one of them that called in yesterday and the day before was sounding like they were just full to the max. Okay, I'm gonna start we're in the second book. It's called Torch. It has 26 uh, ovarian cancer survivors, their story. Okay, this one is how the worst time can be the best time. When Scott, our firstborn, was 6 months old, Charles and I made a commitment to serve the Lord. Even though we've fallen short way too often, God has always been faithful to us. He entrusted us with three beautiful children, Scott, Lori, and Christy, and blessed us in many ways as we raised them. Now they were grown and caring for their own families, and it was time for us to retire, to travel, and to do things we enjoy, or so we thought. When I when I'd been retired only a few months, in mid-September 2004, the mail brought one of those postcards from my gynecologist. Time for your annual checkup. I was feeling good, finally over a bad sinus infection. So I tossed it in with my bills, thinking I'd get it soon. Suddenly, that weekend, I started having a lot of uncomfortable bloating in my stomach. I told Charles, this reflux is really acting up. It's so bad, I may need that surgery I've been reading about. So Monday, I retrieved the card and called requesting an appointment for my annual physical, saying nothing about my symptoms. The receptionist asked, can you be here this Wednesday at 2:30? I couldn't believe I could see the doctor that quickly. Usually it took several weeks. I didn't realize it then, but that was the first indication that God would be with me in the coming ordeal. I was going on about my symptoms when Dr. Green interrupted me. Dot, I'm sorry to tell you this, but you have a mass. I don't know what it is, but it's big. I want you to have a blood test today and come back tomorrow for a sonogram. I guess my mind was playing tricks on me. But after then, I hadn't thought about the possibility of cancer. Coffee. My first reaction was fear. but it was immediately followed with what I can only describe as a picture of a ticker tape going through my mind with these words. Yea, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I would not be afraid, for thou art with me. I knew right away it was reassurance from the Holy Spirit, and I told my doctor, it's in the Lord's hand. There was no assurance that I would be healed, just a certainty that He would be taking every step. I did not be taking every step. I did. I did, no matter what they found. On Thursday, September 29th, Scott's 37th birthday, Dr. Green called with the results of the test. Charles had just retired from the clinic, and Dr. Green knew him well, so they talked. Charles, hanging up with tears in his eyes and voice was crackling, said, all indications are that it's ovarian cancer. I was stunned, except for my paternal grandfather, who had a facial cancer back in the early 1940s. No one in my family had cancer, at least not to my knowledge. The only lady I had known to have ovarian cancer died from it at the age of 49. So I thought I had been given a death sentence. How can I describe the thoughts and fears whirling through my mind? I wanted to run so far I wouldn't outrun it. I wanted to scream and turn back the clock about 4 days. I was afraid I couldn't handle it, that I would be a wimp. All these thoughts and more flashed through my mind while Charles was telling me what the doctor said. I stood there facing him, trying to listen over the roaring in my ears, and I prayed, Lord, you know my makeup. On my own, I will be a basket case. Please give me your strength and help me handle this. I want to be strong. Before I could even say amen, warmth flooded through me from the top of my head to the ends of my fingers and toes. It was God's peace and a sense of His love for me, and it stayed with me throughout the ordeal. I've spent most of my life fighting feeling of inferiority and negativism, but contrary to what you expect, I had a radical change in my thinking. I became a much more positive person. I felt totally accepted and overwhelmingly loved by God, by other people, and even by myself. Think about going to MD Anderson. Dr. Green suggested, if your insurance doesn't pay for chemotherapy, Anderson will work with you. The doctor who wrote the book on ovarian cancer is there. However, he trained the oncologist at Baylor. But our very supportive older daughter, Lori, lives in Plano with her family, and we are only an hour away. So we decided to stick with Baylor. When we called the number my doctor gave us for my doctor gave us for the appointment, we were told to be there in 2 weeks. My wife is very uncomfortable. Can't you get her in any sooner? Charles asked. Tell her if she's that uncomfortable to go to the emergency room. We are booked solid. But if we get a cancellation, we will call you. was their seemingly uncaring retort. At home, we waited uncomfortably. Get my book settled. Okay, let me see. Oh, can you get her in sooner? Charles asked. Tell her if she's that uncomfortable to go to the emergency room. We are booked solid, but if we get a cancellation, we will call you, was their seemingly uncaring retort. At home, we waited uncomfortably for the oncologist's appointment. One day, we were out running errands. When we returned home at 1 p.m., there was a message on the answering machine from Baylor. We had a cancellation and we can work you in if you can be here at 1:30 today. Of course, we couldn't make it in 15 minutes. That turned out to be another way God was watching out for my best interests because the very next day we received a call from Texas Oncology, a group of oncologists, doctors who also have offices at Baylor Hospital. I don't know how they got my name, but the lady said the place where you have an appointment is the free clinic. Do you have insurance that will pay for chemotherapy? I answered, they say they will. Here's the name and number if you would like to call and verify it. Within 30 minutes, she called back and affirmed what my booklet said. They worked me in the next business day, which was a Monday. Somehow, my local doctor had it in his mind that my insurance would not pay for chemo. Right or wrong, it seems that you get better care if you have insurance. I strongly believe that God had his hand in it and he was directing me to Dr. Alan Stringer, a wonderfully capable and compassionate Christian oncologist. I wanted to take all the steps I was supposed to and to be certain that I had all the T's crossed and the I's dotted just right. So I followed the advice in James 5th chapter 13 verse through 15. Is any one of you sick? He should call the elders of the church to pray over him and anoint him with oil in the name of the Lord. And the prayer offered in faith will make the sick person well. The Lord would rise him up. I discussed it with my pastor, Reverend Tony Neal. One Wednesday night after the service, Reverend Neal and 3 of his deacons came to my house, anointed me with oil, and laid hands on my head and prayed for me. Even though they emphasized that we should pray for God's will more than my physical healing. Well, I believe that, and I know for certain that God had touched me and he would indeed work out his will for me, even without the steps. But I was doing everything I knew to do. I didn't want to leave any stone unturned. During the second week after my diagnosis, I started gaining weight rapidly. I gained about 20 pounds from the time of my original diagnosis to the day of my surgery 3 weeks later, as if I had a huge balloon inside. My, t- my tummy was also protruding by leaps and bounds. I soon looked like I was about to deliver a baby. When Dr. Stringer examined me on October the 12th, 2004, I could tell the significant difference in the examination from when Dr. Green examined me to 2 weeks before. The tumor had spread, and I don't know if we can do surgery now. We may have to start with a couple of chemo treatments to shrink it first. Dr. Stringer told me. Chemotherapy is effective about 80% of the time, but I will schedule you for a CT scan tomorrow, and we'll make that determination after we see the results, he added. That night, I went to the ladies' Bible study at church. About 25 to 30 women had been meeting regularly for about the last 8 years, and we have grown a lot through our studies. I told the ladies the events of the day. Please pray that the chemotherapy is effective, I requested. The next day, Charles was driving me to Balaam, and about the time we went through Ennis, I told him, I don't know how to explain it, but something is happening to my body. For lack of a better way to describe it, it was like tiny, almost none, almost not there flutterings, but not really. Perhaps it was more of a sensation, or maybe just a whisper of knowledge. But I was convinced God was doing something. Since my appointment wasn't until 6 p.m., it wasn't until mid morning the next day, Wednesday, when the doctor called. Good news, Doc. The CAT scan indicates we can indeed proceed with the surgery next week. I will always believe it was the prayer from the ladies of my church that made the difference. Dr. Jonathan, oh, my surgeon, set the time for 11:30 a.m. on October 19th. My family and several friends started arriving at about 9 a.m. The ladies in our Bible study group sent word that at 11:30 they would stop what they were doing, get down on their knees, and pray for my successful surgery. I didn't know all of this until much later, but the surgery lasted 5.5 hours. We removed 4 tumors, and the largest was the size of a soccer ball. We also removed her ovaries, the omentum, and part of each of the large and the small intestines. Dr. O went on to tell them, we know there are 2 tumors that were too small to be removed, and her chest has so many precancerous cells it looks like someone threw a cup of rice at her. We could have gotten it all, but it would have taken 19 hours, and she would not have been able to hold up to it. The surgery was on a Tuesday, and they kept me in the ICU until Friday, explaining there were no rooms available on the ovarian cancer ward. I was sedated most of the time, but I do remember snatches of family coming to see me. One memory that stands out is of Scott waving an angel figurine that he had purchased and kept right up over my bed, assuring me that angels were watching over me. Once they admitted me to a private room, I made rapid progress. Dr. O discharged me on Wednesday, the 8th, 8 days after surgery, stating, I'm surprised at how well you are doing. Anytime he made a comment on that order, I would quickly assure him it was because many people were praying for me. I was 35 pounds lighter when I left the hospital than I was before my surgery. Prior to the first treatment, my doctor gave me a sample of an anti-nausea drug named Emend. The next evening, I got just a bit sick to my stomach, but throughout the 6 months of treatment, I never again experienced nausea, nor did I ever vomit. My problem was weakness, dizziness, and short of breath. If I cooked, I had to keep a chair near the stove and counter because I could not stand for any period of time. I was so forgetful, it was embarrassing. When I told Dr. Stringer how weak and dizzy I was after the first treatment, he assured me it was only to be expected. After all, you had a traumatic surgery that you were not healed from by any means, followed by chemo in only 2.5 weeks. So you had a double whammy. Dr. Stringer warned me that I would lose my hair, and just about everyone whom I talked with agreed. Carla, a friend who lived in our community and is a member of our church, had been my beautician for several years. I phoned her. Carla, everyone tells me I'm going to lose my hair. If it happens, I want to come in and let you shave it, but I don't want to do it in front of your mirror where I can see what's happening. I would like for you to do it in your back room. Then then I would don my hats and go home to my bathroom where I can scream as loud as I want to. Several days after my first treatment, my head was sore for a few days, but I didn't shed any hair. After all, I reasoned, the Bible says a woman's hair is her glory. And maybe this is another way the good Lord, is blessing me. When I returned for my next appointment, I proudly told everyone I still had my hair. But Dr. Stringer deflated me. Your hair will most assuredly fall out. On day 17 after the second chemo, my hair began to shed. For 3 days, it was in everything, even my mouth. So I called Carla and told her it was time. She was an angel. You don't need to be out in this cold, wet weather. I will come to your house in the morning before I go to work, she insisted. When she arrived, I was crying. Throughout the diagnosis, the surgery, and the first two chemo treatments, I remained dry eyed and upbeat. I suppose it's silly to get so hung up about something that's so minor in a relationship to, to everything else, but the thought of losing my hair was devastating. Doc, I can just cut it short. Then, if you see the need, I can come back later. We don't have to shave it today, she offered. But her husband, Bubba, was facing major surgery the following week, and I didn't want to bother her to return for the second time, especially when she wouldn't let me pay her. This is the talent the Lord gave me, and I want to do it for you, she insisted. So out came the razors, and down went my hair. That's just an example of how wonderful and kind people were to me during that time. Charles stuck to me like glue and did everything I couldn't. My children was very loving and supportive. When I was diagnosed, I told a few friends and began and before long I found out I was on the prayer list of many individuals and churches throughout the whole United States. People brought food, called and sent cards, and showed me God's love in many ways. My church even gave me a hat shower. Liz, one of my best friends, called me every day for 6 months, even when she was out of town. I also met a few of the ladies from the support group at Baylor who will never know what an inspiration they've been to me. But I absolutely hated looking at myself in the mirror. I was always careful to have my head covered with a hat or a wig. I had two. After a few months, I started wearing a baseball cap around the house. Finally, I loosened up enough to go bald when only Charles and I was there. One day, as we sat down to eat lunch, I asked him, Charles, does it bother you or put you off for me to come to the table with my head bare? I was so touched by his response. Not at all. When I see your head, it reminds me of how good God has been to us. While I was having my sixth chemo treatment, Beth, Dr. Stringer's nurse, handed me a card with the dates and times of my next appointments. You will have the CAT scan. Then a week later, an appointment with Dr. Stringer. But he said it is not necessary to schedule any further chemo. The feeling of relief mixed with gratitude was simply overwhelming. At home, I resolved to get back to my routine as quickly as possible, walking just a bit more each day, resuming household chores, thanking God for each new day when I awake. I testified to God's goodness and mercy at every opportunity. But the closer it got to my 90-day checkup, the more anxious I became. The fear of it returning is said to be the worst on cancer patients than the treatment, and I found out what that meant. What if it comes back? What if it comes back? Was a constant refrain that would not turn me loose. I prayed and asked God for help, and He never failed to calm me. But it wouldn't be long until I once again was on the brink of a panic attack. I was grumpy, lashing out at my husband and others when they didn't deserve it, and I was eating everything in sight. Finally, I got desperate and prayed, Lord, you know my heart, and you know I do trust you. You have proven yourself to me over and over, and I don't know why I am so anxious about this. Please take this fear away from me once and for all. You know I don't want to live like this. That night, a lady about my age knocked on our door. She introduced herself as a friend of my neighbor and inquired what kind of cancer was it. When I said ovarian, she nonchalantly replied, Oh, I had that in 1989. The doctors kept close tabs on me for a while, but then my checkups got further apart until finally they said to resume my regular annual checkups. I've been fine ever since. Well, she was attractive and looked quite healthy, so I took that to be the answer to my prayer. I was finally able to settle down. Sure enough, when I had all the tests in June, the doctor came in with a big smile and a welcoming words. All is well. We don't detect any signs of cancer. As of this writing, it's been nearly 2.5 years since my surgery and my 2 years since my last chemo treatment. And so far, that's the same report I get every time. Our younger daughter, Christy, was 33 when she found out she was expecting her first baby. We already had 4 precious grandchildren, but I had no assurance that I would live to see the baby of our baby, who was due in March 2005. One day while I was reading These words jumped out at me. May you live to see your grandchildren's children. Psalms 128 and 6 verse. I claimed that verse in the day I had my fifth chemo treatment that lasted for 5 hours. Christy had her baby. We left Baylor Hospital in Dallas at 6 p.m. and had been in the hospital room in Round Rock about 10 minutes when they brought Tyler to his mother for the first time. As, as of this writing, we have just returned from going to his second birthday party. Every time I look into Tyler's beautiful eyes, I think about God's love and his wonderful promise to me. My husband and I, my husband said, I have a glow about me, like I've faced the giant and won. That I have, although I don't think for 1 minute that I should get credit for any of it. Actually, it is more of an all over what God has done for me through all of this. It was the Lord, pure and simple, that gave me peace and strength in his healing touch. Yes, I had faith, but the Bible tells us that even our faith is a gift from God. So the fact that I can sit here and write this cancer free is only because of his love and grace. So you see, this story is not really about me. It is mind boggling to me that the God who rules the universe and has billions of people to care for knew all about my troubles and cared enough to answer my prayer before I even said amen. I asked him why he blessed me so and what I'm supposed to do about it now. One day I was reading the Bible. These words from Psalms 118 jumped out at me. You will live and not die, and will proclaim what the Lord has done. Whether I live one more year or 30, this is what I am attempting to do. I have no real assurance that there won't be a recurrence, although several people told me they prayed that I would be healed and that I will never return again. If it should, I'm aware that the outcome could be entirely different. There's one thing that I'm certain of. I have the strength and the peace that only He can give. I handle everything that happens to this old body. I believe He has used me through this to be an instrument to show others His love and power and to offer hope and encouragement no matter what your circumstances are. There are different kinds of healing, and it's not always physical. But for everyone whose heart is right with God and turns to Him for help, His word promises that He will be our refuge and strength and an ever present help in times of trouble. Psalms 46 and first verse. I thank Him every day for His presence and for the way He understands me, relieves all my anxieties, and provides just what I need for every situation. Read Philippians 4 6 through the 7th. The paradox is that while I hope and pray with all my heart, it never returns. In many ways, my experience during those dark days is the best thing that ever happened to me. My prayer is that everyone will experience the reality of our awesome God in her own life. And this was written by Doc Reynolds. Let me see. Anybody got any questions? Make sure y'all ain't fell asleep. Drink some tea with a hint of mint. Okay. So I know you awake then much. Let's see. Shakira, you still awake? V-Town, you still awake? It's 4 people, so I don't know who done went to sleep. Shay, you still awake? You still here? Okay. Oh, okay, I'm listening to you on the food. Oh, okay, okay. All right. This next story is called Life is Like a Box of Chocolates. Wet my mouth. My mouth will get dry. Take this off. Okay. Life is like a box of chocolates. It was August 2000, and a hot hurt right now because he's hurt and tired. Corny is hurt and tired. What is she? The poor thing. I have to pray for her. Give her some strength. Oh, Jason is the problem. Yeah. All right, Shay. Doing some laundry. That'll work. Oh, wow. Okay. It was August 2000 and a hot summer in Texas when I decided to cool off by visiting my best friend Carol in Vermont. One of the activities she had planned for us was to climb a small peak called Bald Knob, which is part of the White Mountains. I am not a very athletic person, but I figured I could easily climb this. I had not gone very far when I had to stop. I huffed and puffed and could only go about 20 feet without stopping to rest. I did make it to the top of the peak, but was exhausted and felt like I had climbed Mount Everest. After returning to Dallas and my office job, I took stock of some symptoms I had been having. My energy level was lower than I had ever felt. Just getting out of bed in the morning was an ordeal. I had a pain in my left side. However, the most alarming thing was my belly. It seemed to be growing daily, almost as if I was pregnant. Well, I was 50 years old, had a hysterectomy in 1993, except my ovaries were not removed, and there was no way I was pregnant. I was not gaining weight, but none of my pants fit. I had to keep the button unbuttoned, and in some cases, even keep the zipper down a ways. I already had an appointment in late September with my gynecologist, so I figured I would wait and tell her about my symptoms. So I suffered through another month before seeing a doctor about my problems. When I did see her, she chalked it up to a bladder infection, gave me a prescription for an antibiotic, told me to call her in 3 weeks if it didn't get better, and sent me on my way. Yeah, that's how women uh, get misdiagnosed. Uh, they do it often, real often. hmm Several weeks went by, and my symptoms only got worse. By late October, I looked like I was about 7 months pregnant, and I was getting very worried. Rather than return to my gynecologist, who was young and treated mostly soccer moms, I went to my internist of 20 years. He was in his 60s, and I just felt more comfortable with him since his patient base was mostly middle aged. why I didn't go to him in the first place. I really don't know. My mistake. He seemed concerned about the symptoms, gave me an exam, and set up an appointment for a sonogram and, if necessary, a CT scan. It was October 31st, 2000, and I had left work to go get the test done, thinking I could return to work in the afternoon, finish up a few things, and then head to my son's house to watch my precious granddaughter, 2 years old, go out for her first Halloween of trick or treating. I did the sonogram, then the CT scan. The technician came out and said sweetly, "You need to go over to your doctor's office. He would like to talk to you." Somehow I got an ominous feeling. There I sat in the examining room with my pumpkin vest on his face. No, wait a minute. No, pumpkin vest on, waiting for my doctor when he opened the door with a quiet door look on his face. He said, "There's no good way to tell you this. You have advanced ovarian cancer." I never put that vest on again and never went back to work except to clean out my desk. I am a big movie buff, and I have seen many a movie where a character is told you have cancer. It always seems so sad and dramatic. The music swells and I get tears in my eyes. When it happens to you in real life, there are just not words strong enough to convey how devastating it is to hear that. From that point, my internist quickly made a phone call and referred me to a female gynecologist oncologist at Baylor Hospital. He said, "She's the best. She will take care of you." 2 days later, my husband and I were sitting in her office. It was late in the afternoon on a Thursday. She said, "You have stage 3C ovarian cancer. You will need surgery as soon as possible and also chemotherapy." She said she had a surgery slot open the very next morning at 7:30 a.m. Otherwise, she wouldn't be able to do it for another week. It was all happening so fast. But somehow I trusted her and felt that I had put things off long enough. So I quickly said, "Let's do it tomorrow." Hey Aquarius, you didn't get the notification. Oh, I'm sorry. Um, let's do it the next morning. I had surgery. The surgery is called tumor debulking. They cut me open from just under my bra to my bikini line and tried to cut out as much of the cancer as is visible to the eye. Then they hoped the chemotherapy will wipe out the smaller microscopic portions of the disease. I was in the hospital for about a week. I had a tube going down my throat, which is just awful. The incision was very painful. I was so scared and sick. I wish I had $1 for every time I vomited during that week. My husband slept in an uncomfortable chair, and it would give me comfort to wake up in the night and see him there. I began to feel human again. Once that throat uh, tube was taken out and the vomiting subsided. On one of my worst days, I looked up and there stood what looked like an angel to me. It was the chaplain of the hospital. It was dark in my room with only the light from the television on. But there she stood with her sweet, soft voice and her Bible in hand. She introduced herself and asked if I would like her to pray with me. I was raised as a Presbyterian, but hadn't attended church on a regular basis since I was a child. Somehow, her offer of prayer made me feel that God had sent her to me. I welcomed her prayer and she made me feel much calmer. She told me about a support group at Baylor for ovarian cancer patients. I took her card on which she did written the date and the time of the meetings. My son came to visit me every day in the hospital. I remember being quite confused about the presidential election. I kept asking him who had won. After all, it was about November 6th, and we should know by then. He kept telling me there was a glitch and we didn't know yet. I would look at the television and still not quite understand why there was no name winners of the election yet. I I now look back and think how the entire nation was confused at what was going on. It wasn't just me. I think my son inherited my love of the movies and late one evening when he was getting up to leave, I said, "Hey, Mike, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you are going to get." He smiled big. He knew just what I meant. I took the line out of the movie Forrest Gump. So after a week in the hospital, I finally got to go home. It never felt so good to get in my own bed and bathroom. Okay, now on to chemotherapy. I was started right after Thanksgiving. I was still weak from surgery, but started mentally preparing myself for the dreaded chemo and gup losing my hair. I had seen versions of chemotherapy and the results of hair fallout in the movies, but I just couldn't imagine what it would be like. Would I look like Demi Moore in G.I. Jane? I was just trying to conjure up what it would be like to look at myself in the mirror with no hair. When I was diagnosed, my hair was long and highlighted blonde. I felt that my hair was my crowning glory and that dawn chemo was going to wipe out my glory. My well-meaning sister offered to shave her head in the show of support. I rejected her offer, knowing that she would have fainted if I had taken her up on it. Several friends with good intentions said, I won't I won't it won't be so bad. Yeah, right. I was unconvinced and knew they weren't coming. They weren't the ones losing their hair. It was going to be horrific for me, and I knew it. A couple of weeks after my first chemo treatment, my hair began to shed like a mangy dog. Once it started to fall out in big clusters, I went to my hairstylist and asked her to buzz it off near the scalp. During the buzzing, I was turned away from the mirror. When she finished and turned me around in the chair, I looked at my image in the mirror, horrified at the sight of myself. I could barely bring myself to take a second look. Now that I was bald, I decided my head had to be covered with something. I bought two wigs, which I quickly realized I would never bond with them. Also, I purchased about a dozen hats, hoping that a few might be comfortable. I decided on a favorite hat, a black cotton knit, one that became a fixture on my head. I let my granddaughter, Evan, play dress up with the others. One day, Evan's curiosity got the best of her. She asked to look at my head underneath the hat. I showed her my shiny, hairless dome. She wasn't shocked at all. She looked carefully at my head and nonchalantly stated, "Don't worry, Nani, it will grow back." Somehow, her honest remark was the most encouragement I had received from anyone out of the mouths of babes. For solace, I turned to the women in the ovarian cancer support group, which I began attending just weeks after my surgery and before my first chemo uh, treatment. Some wore wigs, others wore scarves and baseball caps. One spunky lady wore a cap that said, "Wish you was here." Wish you was here. From observing them, I got an idea of what my options were. I know some view support groups negatively, but they think a bunch of people gather and cry the blues. I found quite the opposite. We have a great sense of camaraderie, share information, and have many laughs. I have found it to be extremely helpful. I have formed bonds with some of those women that are so strong. I feel that I have known them all my life. That support group became very important to me. From November 2000 to April 2001, I did 6 chemo treatments called Taxol and carboplatin. I finished up with chemo, and by August 2001, I had enough hair, albeit very short, to go public without a hat. I was feeling good. I was sailing along, but then I began to worry about a recurrence. That cloud seemed to loom over my head. Why couldn't I just not worry about it? I read books, researched medical information, talked to survivors who lived 24/7 with the fear, and observed how the women in my support group were coping. My conclusions were that like many things in life, there is no cookie cutter way to deal with the possibility of a recurrence. There is not a right way or wrong way. We each have to deal with the fear of, of a recurrence in a way that helps us get through the day. After a 9-month remission following the initial chemotherapy, pain, blood test results, and a CT scan confirmed that the ovarian cancer was back. Shock was my first reaction, and then I was devastated. Although the possibility of a recurrence was ever present, I had lived those 9 months quite happily. I felt strong. Hair was on my head. No way, no way could it be back. I was scared and angry. I had done everything exactly as I was supposed to, and yet still had a recurrence. Plus, I feared the unknown. What was going to happen to me next? I started taking another chemotherapy drug called Doxil. After regular treatments, I stayed on Doxil for 3 years and 8 months. When it seemed when it seemed not to be working as well, my doctor and I decided a vacation from chemo was in order. I went for 5 months before starting back on one of the original drugs, carboplatin. I've been on that since April 2006. So far, so good. I continue to worry about another recurrence, especially on the days after I take the CA125 blood test, when I anxiously wait for the results. For the most part, I take a deep breath, worry for a few days, and then get on with living. My thoughts of will it come back? What will I do? Just how sick will I be? Will I get? Took up a growing amount of my energy. So I answered those questions for myself. The answers being yes, it is a possibility that it will come back. I am blessed with a superb doctor, nurses, and health facility. I will do the best I can with the tools I have. Chemotherapy is not a picnic in the park, but I will go through it and hope that the end will justify the means. Sometimes I feel that there is a sleeping giant in my body just waiting to rear its ugly head. And if it does return, I will just do the best I can to continue fighting. I have been braver than I ever thought I was capable of being. In the meantime, I am just getting on with enjoying life. As the old song says, accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, and don't mess with Mr. In Between. I try to stay away from people who are negative. I truly believe they are toxic to my system. One of the most important purposes in my life is to love and be with my grandchildren. There are only 6 and 8, and when I teach them a life lesson, I feel such a sense of accomplishment. My soul feels such joy when I am around them, and I feel that my immune system benefits from them. I have started a grandmother journal full of my thoughts. Oh, how I wish I had something like that from my grandmother. I think to write a letter to someone you love is the best gifts you can give. I've found helping I've found helping others nourishes me in a special way. It makes me feel so worthy of being on this planet to be able to help a lady who also has ovarian cancer. I meet so many wonderful women through my support group and at the hospital where I am treated. We are all fighting the war together, the war against cancer. I count my blessings every day as I know things can change in a minute and be gone with the wind. And on the days when I feel low, I just tell myself tomorrow is another day. And this was written by Kay Noddle. See if y'all still awake. Let's see, what did I miss? Oh, Aquarius, I don't know what's wrong with the notification. I may have to try to find a comment where you comment and leave your message when I get ready to go live, so you won't keep missing, because I don't know what's wrong with these old notifications. Let's see. Uh, Uh, Shay, I know you doing something happening. Let me see what you this. I think this happening to me. Wait a minute. No, Connie. Oh, okay. You talking with Kwani? Hmm. She seemed like she was okay. Her the last one that I seen. Um, I think I think and this happening to me. Uh, what you what you mean, Shay? I hope you wasn't talking about these stories or symptoms. I'll wait and see if I can get your response before I say what I had to say. And she sounded like, oh, okay, you still listening? Oh, okay, because you had said something. I didn't know if you was talking about the book or was it? You said I think this happened, and then you say happening to me. What are you talking about in the book about the story? Okay. So, what sounds like it's happening to you? I'm gonna. What is my? Let's see if I got. Yeah, I got my symptom. Before you. Okay. While you getting that together, I'm gonna read. I'm gonna read these some symptoms to you. Uh, and then I'm going to tell you the name of the two of the tests. One blood test is for ovarian cancer. The other blood test is for breast cancer. I'll tell you those names, and after I give you the symptoms that these ladies in both of these books they put together. One of them is your stomach bloating. Uh, Second one, you have stomach pain. Next one is backache. The next one is irregular cycles, fatigue, feeling of fullness when eating. Number 7 is diverticulitis. The next one is painful intercourse. Number 9 is constipation and or diarrhea. 10th one is indigestion. 11 is increased urination. 12 is lung issues. And number 13 is leg pain. So those are 13 of the symptoms for ovarian cancer. And the tests for that you can get from your gynecologist, and sometimes you'll have to force them to give you that. You, yes, I have that back pain, and is that the only one? Oh, hmm. Do you have any other of these symptoms? Did any of them any more of them. The while you typing out, tell you this. The name of the test is the blood. Filling for one night really quickly. Okay. You haven't you haven't been bloated, have you? Okay. You you may you may be okay, but I would say if you have any of these symptoms, to go ahead and go to your let them check you out, and the test for to find out, because see, your annual exam, your Pap smear, they cannot pick up ovarian cancer from Pap smear. There's a blood test called CA125. CA125 is the test for ovarian cancer. For breast cancer, it's BRAC, BRAC gene. And if a woman have ovarian cancer, she's more likely. Extremely painful, but my period scraps up. So, yeah, you need to at least go and get checked out. And if they diagnose you with, tell you got indigestion or acid reflux, or something off the wall, um, then there are times you have to be aggressive with your gynecologist and say, look, I know I know about the CA125, which is the blood test. I want you to check and make sure I don't have ovarian cancer, because I have learned about ovarian cancer and I know some of the symptoms, and it seems like I'm having some of those symptoms. I want to know, because when you're misdiagnosed, that is the difference between you living and dying. Because if they misdiagnose you, most of the women, by the time they do get to their appointment and they find out that they have ovarian cancer, they're usually at stage 3C or stage 4, advanced stage 4 cancer. And that's the difference between stage 1 and stage 4 or 3C, is the difference between life, living, and dying. So, if you want to, on my community page, I have all of these symptoms. I also have the name of the two tests for breast cancer and for ovarian cancer. And usually, I also have this the test that the OB/GYN doctors, they would normally want you to take, is an ultrasound, a CAT scan, a sonogram, and the other one is called a PET scan. Those are the four type of imaging. And then with uh, treatment, it's either radiation, and or some people have to get chemo and radiation, And then you can also be, the doctors will uh, suggest you get into one of the, what is it, the trial drugs program. All that is on my community page. It's all written out. So uh, if it was like 13 of the symptoms. So I know you're not gonna remember all that, but you can get it off my community page. But yeah, definitely get them. Oh, you said you got your appointment on the on. Did you say the sixth? Oh, of the 6th of what? January. 6th of January. Yeah, got to be January. Okay, all right. But yeah, yeah, no, no problem. Cause there was another lady. She was, I think, she said she had seen the probably the name of my video. Okay, yeah, you don't have too long. Um, and she seen the title of the video, and she came. I think she was in the bushes, and I was reading the story, and I think I read the symptoms off because I try, if I know I got new people in, I will read the symptoms off in the name of the two blood tests. Um, and when she heard it, she dropped down and she said her mother had just been diagnosed with ovarian cancer 2 days ago, and I had started reading, and well, she had told us that her mother, because I asked her what stage she was in, and she said her mother won't tell them anything about it. They won't tell her what stage. She won't tell them what stage she's in, or she wouldn't let them go in with her. So yeah, um, I'm just glad that I could help anybody, um, any women, because uh, like I said, my wife died. She passed away from her ovarian cancer in 2014, and that's why I know so much about it. So yeah, let's see who's still awake. Yeah. Oh, no problem. No problem at all. I guess this is what my uh, wife would have wanted me to do, is to inform other women, because it ain't no joke to be in the doctor's office and they tell you to bring somebody with you and then drop that news on you. It's no joke, and um, it's nothing easy to have to hear, nor to deal with and go through um, all the everything that I know my wife went through. We went through all kinds of stuff, tests and blood work and chemo, and then it's not working. Then you try another one. It may work, and then you try another one, and it may not work, and then you may be able to get a surgery. Then you may not. It's just, it's rough. It is definitely rough. Aquarius, you still awake? Cause I know you came in late. I'm reading the story for you if you want. Let me see what she. I didn't get. Oh, who else? You didn't get my notification, Big Town. Okay, see, YouTube is messing up. I'm gonna have to start trying to put comments up under videos where I see y'all have left response. That'll probably be the best, or either look on my community page, because I did put it on my community page. But if I have to do it both ways, I'll do that. And B-Town, I'll just text you. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna read another one. Let's see. I don't want to bore you. This one is short, so I won't bore y'all too long. Because I think the rest of them, they don't want to sleep. Okay. Twilight, the soft light between sunset and darkness. I once heard it said that you get shown the light in the strangest places if you look at it right. Well, after being diagnosed with stage 3 ovarian cancer in November 2000, a darkness enveloped my life like no other. I had previously experienced some stomach pain, some stomach problems, and had noticed a marble sized lump visible near my navel. I was referred to a surgeon who promptly removed the lump and biopsied it. I received the numbing news that I had an offshoot of ovarian cancer. I began a regimen of 6 chemotherapy treatments and surgery followed by more chemo. I then experienced a 2-year remission from my enemy. After that seemingly brief hiatus, I had a recurrence that required more surgery and more chemotherapy. I was blessed to have another 2-year remission before the cancer recurred. Once again, more surgery and chemotherapy. Just about the time I thought that the darkest of times might be over, I lost my best friend, my mother. This was in 2004. It was a painful time for me, but I was fortunate to still have the most wonderful of husbands. Bruce and I had been married almost 51 years. We had 2 sons and a daughter and 7 grandchildren. Bruce was experiencing a myriad of health issues of his own due to diabetes. However, he was my constant cheerleader during my illness. He was my small bit of light in an unknown dark time. Nothing could have prepared me for the shock of his expected death during a hospital outpatient procedure. I took him to the hospital for the routine procedure. I just thought we would be going home afterward. It never dawned on me we wouldn't. I would, but Bruce wouldn't. How was I to summon the strength to continue? If God loves me, and I believe he does, why did this happen? We were just beginning 2006. It was off to an awful start. While it has been difficult at times to keep up the continual fight against the cancer that preys on me, light has filtered through in various places. God has shown me how many children, grandchildren, doctors, friends, and of course, the ovarian cancer support group are there for me. Our loving leader, Jan, and the ladies in the group shares a bond like no other. I consider them to be the sisters I never had. How ironic that I had been hesitant at first to attend a support meeting. I thought, who wants to be around other sick women? If I look around, I can find the light. I can find the light. The blessings in my life and the weekly group meetings have proven to be just that, blessings. Somehow I earned the nickname Strawberry Shortcake. It could be because of my height or lack of. I am called Shortcake and receive gifts of strawberry themed cards, favors, and even bubble bath. Another boost to my life are the twice a week lion dancing classes I attend. We are all seniors, mostly women and 3 or 4 brave men. The movement, music, and rhythm assist in helping my mind focus away from the troubling thoughts. Other happy times are spent in the kitchen baking or cooking favorite dishes to share with my family and friends. Thinking of others shifts my brain from thinking of myself. I am fortunate in having 2 of my 3 children close. My son lives in Dallas and my daughter in San Antonio. She makes frequent trips to Dallas to visit or to take me home with her for a few days. She's made it very comfortable for me. There are living quarters for me in the back of her house. She keeps the fridge stocked with bluebell and sugar-free topping. I have everything I need there, and I have a standing invitation to come and make the move permanent. For now, I have elderly aunts here in Dallas, and I like knowing I can keep an eye on them and run errands when necessary. It's also nice to know I have a home when I am ready in San Antonio. I would characterize my present status physically and emotionally as being in a twilight time. Twilight, that soft light between sunset and darkness. Today, at this moment, I am considered stable. I have the highs and the lows, the joy and the depth of despair. For now, I am satisfied and thankful for being in between in the twilight. And this was written by Elena Laurie. So, yep, and that is our reading. Any now, Shay, if you have any questions or you need to know something, just let me know. Yeah. Oh, okay. You still there? When you respond to my comments, I can notify. Oh, okay. Well, that's probably gonna have to be the way that I let y'all know since they messing up on the notification. Hey, super chat, super chat. I read the book about Henrietta Lack. Who is Henrietta? Who is Henrietta Lack? Okay, Jason over there floating around on YouTube live as usual. He always trying to get a chat, and nobody won't go. Nobody but a couple of people go to his chat. Somebody flagged his channel. They did. Super chat. Super chat. Who is Henrietta Lack?
Dito lang, bayad utang muna.
Lord have mercy. What the hell is that? I don't know what I'm looking at. Yeah, so I haven't read the book, but saw the documentary. Hmm. What is it about? That's a troll right there. Who's right where? Who who's a troll? Oh, you saying Jason is a troll? Oh, okay. Yeah. Somebody tell me what is that book? Who is Henrietta Lacks? He like corny stuff. Oh, well, Corny is not still alive. Yes, I doubt very seriously because her lives don't last long. Oh, she took her videos. Oh, she did. She took them down. Oh, okay. A few people have been recording stuff. Oh yeah, like that Tatiana. Well, yeah, I think everybody figured that out already. Well, some people. Shakira, you sleep? She probably sleep. Lovely lady person who be on call with him too. Miss Lack's body was used to do experiments. Good trip. No, so Miss Lack's body was used to do experiments on her. Experiments on her while she was alive or after she had passed away. These folks. Yeah, you know how these folks are. Yes, after she passed away. Oh man. Rare blood type. Hmm. I'm gonna have to look it up and read about it. Wow. Mm-mm. Look at you, Shakira. She coming in and telling me, please don't forget to smash. I thought you sleep because I was like, Shakira, you sleep? Mm, please don't. Oh, look at your sentence. Your your spelling. Her family sued over for the store. Oh, really? Hmm. Tea to keep me out. Add your tea. That's good. That's good. Wow. I'm about to look at that. Oh, okay. Oops. The, oh, yeah. The what Shakira was typing was if you, when y'all watch my videos, I appreciate if y'all would let the yeah, don't skip the ads. If you just if you busy cleaning or something, let the ads play um, and not skip them. That way, um, I get paid for the ads that I have on my videos, and because I do long long ads, there are quite a few ads that they put on uh, each one of my videos. So if you would just don't skip them let them play through and then come back and watch the video. It will help me a lot, and I appreciate it. I'm missing one person. Well, missing Mo, but I'm missing undeniably me. I know she probably busy, but yeah, I miss her because she normally bees here. Yeah, be on YouTube. Okay, looking at the ads. Oh, okay, okay. Oh, it may be on. Yeah, I definitely put it in and try to see, so I can read about that. It sounds interesting. Huh. Use somebody uh, for experiments. Wow. Shakira, how many hits I got? How many views I have on that video? The, the one I did. I think last time I looked, I think I had. I don't know if it was 400 or 350 or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. So, now, oh, 400. Okay. We do that. Oh yeah, yeah. Mo. Mm-hmm. Two cents. You know what? Cell Chaser. The last time that she came, she had been sick, so she had been gone for a while, and then when she came that one day, and she was telling us that she was sick. They still uses her cells to what? Dang, well they needed to get sued. Mm. Oh yeah, I'm about to find that and read. Yeah, so I think I'm thinking Cell Chaser is probably sick, and I don't have her email or nothing to try to see how she's doing, if she's in the hospital. I haven't seen her in a long time. She haven't been in a long time, and I haven't seen her in any of the chats. So that's I'll think about that because I wonder how she's doing. And Butterfly had came in not too long ago. I have her email. I think I'm gonna email her and see what happened. Cause I know she changed her stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I wish they would email me because I worry about them. Yeah, Lex family didn't know. Oprah did serve. They did not pay the family. What? Mm, dang. Yeah, I haven't seen Butterfly or Sale. Yeah, I'm gonna have to contact Butterfly. I don't know. I don't know about Sale. She's been, and she's been sickly uh, a lot. Oh, you say Oprah is shady. What? What? Oprah did try to sneak and get a interview from the people. Mm-mm-mm. Everybody has been sick lately. Yeah, yeah. I haven't seen Cell in a. It's been a while, and I just wonder. I'm thinking she may be in the hospital because it's been a while. Oh, really? Of Oprah. Yeah, I used to watch it. I don't. She don't do. She don't still have a show, do she? Oh, either I'm just late. I I didn't think she had a show anymore. Oh, she still do. Oh, okay. Shoot. You know, I ain't watched her in a long time. If I didn't know she, I thought she, I thought she had finished doing. Mm, mm. Oh wow. Let's see. See if anything else going on. Much talking about what's his name? His red pill. Oh look, the red pill was in James live. She did y'all see her video yesterday? Uh, yeah, I think that yeah. Well, it's after 12. After 12, so it yesterday. Um, is it yesterday? No, day for yesterday, or whenever. You have to look for Jesus Christ. That's the name of his page. Jesus Christ. Um, yeah, she was crying. She was crying. I thought to myself, what? She drops. She's dropping tears. Yeah, his page is Jesus Christ. You know, I'd be like, ooh, why he couldn't use something else? Yeah, it was sad. Um, it was actually, it really was. I listened to almost all of the video, and she was sobbing. I was like, and didn't she apologize to anybody that she could have maybe possibly um, hurt um, if she done something to you? That was like, yeah, that made me scratch my head. Go, she apologized. It was the other sibling that was wanting money, huh? Who- Miss Beauty, I'm. Are you talking about Red Pill too, Miss um, B Town? It was the other siblings that wanted money. Oh, you talking about the story? Oh, okay. And see, the daughter that asked Oprah to play the part didn't want money. She just wanted her mom's story to be told. It was the other siblings that wanted money. Okay. Well, they should they should have been paid all of it. They're gonna use her. Mm, mm. Yeah, his page Jesus Christ. I'd be scared to type that in, but I did. But yeah, Red Pill was, she was crying. She apologized. I was like, her son is in remission, if I'm not mistaken, and he's in remission. Anybody that's seen, I was, it was sad. Um, her son was in her son is in remission. Yeah, yeah, that's what she said. I don't know, but I know she was crying, and I didn't know. I figured maybe it didn't sound like tears of joy, but mm but I haven't seen any videos I ain't seen her make no videos. One of it, what was that? The video said that was her last video, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Uh, if I'm not mistaken, I seen one of the videos that said, yeah, she said that was her last video, and then she said until June. I mean, is June until July, whenever they do the vacation. And I thought, oh, well, okay. I thought she was done, but she said until July. What is Brianna talking about? Group number 10. I don't know what she's talking about. And then see, what's the name? 7 just dropped a video taking accountability. I don't know who she might be. She might be a gun in that 5A. Mm, she be doing heavy. Yeah, you would think that she wouldn't be doing that, knowing she got a sick child that's going through. But I guess it didn't matter to her at the time. It's not TV season. She said that was why she had been lashing. Yep, sure did. Why she had been lashing out and stressed. Hmm. Could be. Or it could be that something was somebody reported her. And so she want to say because it was, but well, and it could be, but then again, it could be that something was said or done to. But hopefully, having 6 sons, she quit that. She quit that. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a lot of people at the vacation. I mean, it probably will be a lot of people that still go, because if they're saying she how could she have well, maybe it's true, but have collected 10 10 grand already. So that means if she collected 10 grand, she reminds of that Trish lady. Talking about Shish Trish. Um, which one? Which? Who reminded you of Trish? I mean, Trish. You say yes. Oh, okay. Who? Red Pill. Oh, excuse me. Oh, Red Pill. Yeah. I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, it's these people, they need some Haldol and some lithium. Mm-mm-mm. James is funny. He's just so calm and Chilled. He don't. He don't seem to let nothing bothers him, and that's good. But I guess if you make him mad, she said 50 some people had paid. Yeah, yeah. They said 50. So 50 times 100. Because I guess I don't know who may have paid their complete 200, or maybe they paid the 100. Uh, so that's, what is that, 5,000? Uh, don't make me try to use my brain. 50 some people has paid. Uh, uh, 50, 50 times 100. Um, uh, Somebody calculate that up. 50 times 100. I mean, not 50. What is it? $100 and then 50 people. That's that's not. Is that $10,000? Not about that. But I'm just. And then what that don't bother you. It ain't right. Oh, okay. I was gonna say. That didn't look like $10,000. But I guess some people may have paid their own their whole. No, that's a 5K. Okay, yeah, that's not right. Some I guess some people could have paid whole their whole $200. Mm, but that ain't. And you listen to people's uh, saying that she scammed people out of their money, and she already got $10,000. Um, how could how could how could you scam? How could she be scamming folks out of their money? $200. I don't know. Folks also donated for people who couldn't. Yeah, yeah, who couldn't afford to go. Yeah, they did. Hmm. And she claimed all seven of those people uh, got sponsored. Yep, all seven. So basically, what they paying for is let me get excuse. I know it. Yeah, it's just something they gonna say. She said that this morning. Hmm. That if it's $200, and then they want to say, what can you can go on your own, and it won't cost you nothing. Well, they saying the $200 that she's claiming that that they're gonna use for the places they go to. And they saying that you can go there and it don't charge. You don't have to pay anything. So I think that's what they basically trying to say she's scamming on. But I I mean I don't believe she's uh, scamming, because I don't know that the places. I don't know anything about uh, where where the places is, and even the name for the party boss. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. So that ain't no way she can scam that, because they charging for that. So and with the hotel, um, she probably got a good rate for as many people as they said they was gonna be there. Okay, yeah, and they charge for that. To get into that. I That's why I was wondering. I kept. She can't scam the whole. No, if anything, she probably got a deal to have that many people getting rooms there. Okay. Well, not her, but got the deal for the people that's gonna be staying there. But yeah, that's why I was wondering. Did anybody? Yeah, group rate. Did anybody have say something about April? Is she still going, or did her? If I say something to her about being on the Mess Express twice, yeah, yeah, they'll have a good time. Not QB, not Jay Wilson. None of them folks need to go visit. No, no five need to go visit. No five crack babe. I, I don't know if she's going or not. Yeah, because people were, after she got on the Mex Express that couple two different times, uh, people were saying that Five will probably turn on her, and people were making comments, and so I didn't know if she had said something to April, or did she cancel April um, sponsorship, or was it just people thinking she was going to say she was going to do something? hmm She tried to get her brother, threatened James to instigate. Yeah, James is like, uh-uh. I think understood why as it went. Cause Kwani called her racist. Oh, yeah. Well, I would too. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with her. She didn't go on there to do anything other than talk to James and let James know that she loved him and she supported him. It wasn't like she went on there for anything else, or like she was on there for VS or anything. Well, I get you family involved in the yeah. That's the part that's crazy to me. Um, that's crazy. It seems to me content creators as well as subs turn on each other at the drop of a hat. Yep, drop of a dime. Yeah, they do. They do. It's like it's just a circle. This month, you may get 2 months of having 15,000 plus subscribers each chat you have, and then like she had her time, and now it seemed like it moved to the next person. Um, uh, what is I lost my thoughts. Oh, and now it's James Caldwell's time, and then next it'll be Jay Wilson's time. It just seems like it just goes around in a circle. You have your time of having 1,000 plus people in your chat every time you go live. So that's how she moved. Let's see. Kwani hiding. Uh, uh, Trying to see something. Brianna, 7 stars. Hmm. Um, Trish is live. She's she's dragging Kwani. She's live now. Just Keller SS on the message first what she getting sponsored. Uh, you know, here's 1,000 in the chat. We'll move on to the next. Yeah, yeah. It'll move on. It'll be Jay Wilson's time to get 1,000 subscribers for a couple of months or something like that. That Tracy better not come further. What Tracy? Tracy's world? She didn't have all those numbers tonight. James did. Yeah, she haven't for a couple of days since she started all that mess. Oh my! I should want to. Uh, for for anybody that want to see it, uh, Trish is dragging Kwani. Uh, see, she dragging Kwani. Let's see. I wonder what she dragging. Oh, you told me that. I didn't know she was. Yeah, I didn't know she was dragging Kwani. Kwani told her off earlier and took a lap dance. Oh, because she's live now. Uh, Trish is. I give it out voice lessons. When I heard that, I was like, why is he giving voice lessons in live? mm, mm, mm. Jason ugly self. Oh, he's live too? Oh, they trying to double team Kwani then. Where's Tracy? She better call Tracy. Help her out. He over farting around in his life, playing Kwani's videos. Mm-mm-mm. I burst out laughing and went out of there. Oh, you went over to check out Jason? Yeah, of course. You just pull up, just search Jesus Christ, and you'll find Jason living in that little adobe house. Yeah. So they say Sean Bradley was refunding people's money if they they not going to Vegas. Well, he just giving the people that want their money back. For me, it is a splendid touch that I have done. I want to make it burn as brightly as possible. Who said no? Vacation. I'm no Las Vegas. Yeah, no Las Vegas. I sure I wish I knew how that her name was Sat Beyonce knows that the woman that dropped in and said her mother had just found out she had ovarian cancer. I hadn't seen her. I was wanting to know how her mother was doing. Hmm. Mm, mm, thoughts about it. Yeah, I wish you would come come to come over one day so we can ask how her mother. She gonna have to sooner or later tell them something. I mean, she because she said she wouldn't she wouldn't let them go in with her to get the news or to find out what state she was in. Mm-mm. She wouldn't let anybody go in with her. She's she's strong. Just to keep that to herself. I I can't imagine. I know the one of the ladies the stories that we just heard that I read, um the lady that talked about uh, God a lot and had a bunch of scriptures to read. B was this same way, and I think that's why she lasted as long as she did. For instead of 6 to 9, unless instead of 6 to 9 months, she lived for 7 years after her diagnosis. Yeah, because yeah, we prayed a lot, and I think that's why she didn't suffer um, throughout those 7 years. The only thing she really um, had was like, feeling fatigued and tired when she got home from chemo. Um, only when her they thought her intestines was tore, but it wasn't. It was just in a kink, and then having the surgery to remove her gallbladder and spleen, and she had a hysterectomy. But other than just suffering like a lot of people suffer, she didn't suffer. She Yeah, she didn't suffer at all. Hmm. Yeah, it definitely was because so many of the women that just exist during that time of them fighting, to stay alive. But she didn't. We drove um, different places, and she could still drive. But then she got a total of 12 liters of fluid off of her stomach, so that helped her. And we went different places, ate every place we went. We ate something different. Um, so yeah, she didn't just exist. She was still able to enjoy life and do the things that she wanted to do. And yeah, so that that helped me too, because she didn't suffer. Hmm. But yeah, yeah, I was thinking about that woman yesterday and day. yesterday and the day before yesterday, wondering how her mother was doing and how she was doing. I knew it. It's, if her mother will not tell, her kids or whatever, um, I don't know. I just imagine. I probably think she's probably stage 4. Mm. But yeah, she just have to fight. I hope she take the. Oh, she said she was getting radiation, didn't she? I'm sure YouTube is the last thing on my mind. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I did see. I seen her in somebody's chat. I can't remember who it was, but I just happened to I seen her name, and and I was clicking out when I seen her name, and I didn't say nothing. I didn't want to say nothing to her. I didn't want to mess up her. And in the chat, probably trying to take her mind out for her. But I would like to know if she's okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, some of these women, they can write, well, they can talk, cause they got, they got some long stories. Well, not really long, but some of them are like 4. Let's see how many pages she got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Oh, one of them got 8 pages. No wonder my mouth got dry. But that's what it's about. Mm-hmm. Just putting your story out there, telling it all, telling, letting people know how they suffer and how they did when they got first diagnosed. I wish I could have, or do I? I was gonna say I wish I could have got wrote the rest of B's story out where she stopped at. But I don't know. I, I don't know. I think that would probably been too much for me if uh, if I had written the rest of her story out from where she stopped. Oh, it's 516 views. Yeah, how many dislikes I got? Cause I got they were disliking me to death. Probably was they were 5A supporters. I mean, don't hate me. I mean, I just said my 2 cents, my what I felt. But yeah, they was. I knew they was gonna just give me a lot of thumbs down, but it's okay. 23 thumbs down. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yep. There you go. Give it to me. Give me them thumbs down. Just because I said what counts as the views, yeah. Yeah, I know. So, mhm, yeah. I, I do appreciate it. I just had to, just see what I felt about it. And like I said, I don't know if I've got any more comments, but last time I looked at it, I only had that per cat, and it wasn't negative. They just said what they felt. I think she felt that people were hating on 5A, and I just said thank you. Hmm. Did you watch Varsity video where she went up on? Oh, she went up on. Where was it? What? All those attacked. Yeah, they. But they didn't really, or as far as I know, last time I looked, they didn't attack me, but they probably have now. um, Boss lady, I'm gonna have to look for that. She did a 2 hour live. I'm gonna have to look for that. Cause you know that Demetri lit all day. I don't know what to say about her. Oh, she was calling Quantity alcoholic. Well, damn, she be she be full most of the time, don't she? Or is she just or is she just um hyper? Trolling her page and recording Quantity's. Demetri was yes. Talk smack about boss lady. Oh, she did. she she is something else. Mm, she is something else. Oh, you just recorded Trish. And she going off on a Quantity. Lord have mercy. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah. And now because I do those shoots for just yeah, because I do the hashtag the ovarian cancer when I do my videos. I get a Now I get a lot of women that have ovarian cancer. Their videos pop up, and then I get she is spying on Tracy and Quantity. I'm talking about Trish is. Mm, yeah, she a Jason fan. Mm, But yeah, today's friend. Sorry, tomorrow's enemies. Yeah, they'll love each other and give them about a month. They'll hate it. They'll hate that person, and then next it'll be the next person. Rotation. Who she accusing of dragging kid? Talking about Tracy and Kwani. Most wanted list or something. Not Jason gonna have if he done got busted about that FBI stuff, he might as well just go on. Let it go and go where you want to be a part of. So she keeps saying, I ain't never seen somebody that keep talking about they don't want to be here, but yet they still here. Who? Trish going off? That must be bad. I think I heard her uh, dragging somebody. I can't remember who it was. Oh, you say boss lady? Yeah. She's live. Is she? She's not live right now, is she? She probably helping record stuff. Yeah. She probably is. What's it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know how to play with um, Boss Lady, New Jersey. No, ma'am. But there was one day, Trish, I don't know who she was dragging. And I think it was uh, Quani. I'm not sure if it was Quani or not. But she drugged whoever it was. Uh, Trish did. I didn't even know she could roast and gag or drag or whatever they call it. I don't know the people on YouTube. Jesse knows the one I'd be worried about. That was called Crazy Man or Dangerous. Yeah, yeah. Or you think you might be able to you know play around with one of us. They'll be quick to call the police, make up some story. Be done recorded all your doggone videos, and you never have a clue. And they turning this stuff over to police. Trish still got 5 days back. Yeah, I seen that yesterday. She was talking about she don't see nothing wrong with her getting her brother to come on here and talk that to try to whatever he's supposed to do to James and all the rest of the gay guys. That's why I said, I just said, and I wasn't being smart, but uh, no one's scared of your brother. They really not. Mm-mm. Craziness. Yeah. Ring a bell. Mm-mm. No. Mm-mm. I just said, I know you. I just said, no one's scared of your brother now. Don't get it twisted. Because you must remember it, all these uh, gay guys that you calling the F word, do not forget they still men. Yeah, they still men. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And like they said, I think it's just a money thing. That was just to get him those 1,000 subscribers, like that he's supposed to have already. She got her brother. Yeah, well, yeah, but it's not like they're face to face or down the street or around the corner. These people are like thousands of miles away, and and like everybody say, I agree with what everybody's saying. You didn't try to call your brother on Rick Reed. You didn't call him on Sean Bradley. So why now? Something ain't right there. Well, she didn't have no reason to be calling her brother other than it ain't nothing but like they said a money hustle. Hmm. Yeah, he don't have he he don't have a problem because James ain't making it, and they ain't gonna let him make it a problem. And he may have just um, realized that maybe Abe might have been over exaggerating. Um, but yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, crazy. And it don't none of it makes sense. It will last. No, he's not gonna last. Mm-mm. He is not gonna last. But and she probably because food junkie is on his behind. Food junkie ain't playing. I think I've watched 2 or 3 of his videos, and where he's talking to Buddha. I hate saying that name, Bud. Um, and he's just telling him how it is. He's like, I hope you know that we're not scared of you. So, for whatever your sister brought you on here for, ain't working and ain't gonna happen. I mean, he sitting there making this little mask. Oh yeah, I haven't seen. Um, I mean, only thing I seen was his face, and that was for a short time because when he started calling James and the rest of the gay guys the F word, I, I I was done, and I haven't watched any more her videos or his videos after they were using them homophobic slurs. I was done. I haven't watched. Mm-mm. But I knew he had been to prison. I could just tell. I could just tell. Hmm. And I think he said something. He might be on parole or something. He ain't gonna do nothing. He's not gonna do nothing or say anything crazy on that YouTube page because he'll be headed right back to prison to serve his time out if he do anything stupid. So he's not gonna he's not gonna make no mistake like that. Mm-mm. She probably told him, "Hey, I can get you. You have your 1,000 subscribers within a day. I've done it before or something, But now he got to get his 4,000 subscribers. He may be. But didn't she say he was married? Yeah, he don't have any content, you know, unless he get 4 watch. He got 4 watch hours. He ain't gonna be monetized. That ain't gonna serve no purpose until he get some content. And arguing with people is ain't gonna ain't gonna hang. That ain't gonna help. That golden middle finger that popped up on here is the chat. Huh? Let me read that again. You know that golden middle finger, oh, that popped up on here in that chat. All of that is rich. Telling all of her Kool-Aid. Oh, when did a gold finger pop up? It was in who chat was it in that popped up? Next on his last video, he doesn't even want to beef. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, that makes sense because you sure wouldn't want to jeopardize your freedom for to be coming on here beefing and acting the fool if you on a parole or probation, because that any little thing that get you sent right on back. And I know doggone well you gonna jeopardize your freedom, just like that for no reason. Over something you don't even know nothing about. But I'm glad he's smart enough to know better, not to be doing all that. I hope he's not related to the wrench. I know. And don't do the verbal back and forth. No, they don't. They may say something one time, but then after that, if, if they want to fight, they want to fight. But if they don't want to fight, let that stuff go, because they know that stuff that women do, all that fussing and arguing and mad because somebody's, yeah. Hopefully he's smart. He's smart enough to know he don't want to go back where he just got out of, and ain't gonna do that. And I was quite surprised because what's his name, Food Junkie had said Butter's toast is buttered. Yeah, he's over it. He probably was like, I am not gonna sit here and be arguing, fussing back and forth with these gay guys. Now women will do that, but guys be like, "Chap, I'm done. I'm not gonna do that." So that it's too tiring. drain it. Shoot. And heck, somebody, did I see something was somebody was talking about doxing him, doxing Butter? It's like, baby, they can find out his parole officer and be called. I know he don't want that. Mm-mm. Call, because you know they good for digging up your, like Trixie's parole officer. They dig up his parole officer and call and tell him he's on here doing something. They'll be send his butt back. He said, "Oh no, I'll come on there, and, be seen, but shoot, it's not worth me going back to the penitentiary." No, darling. Uh, it is not worth that. Yeah, but hopefully he's smart enough. Shoot, some, people might help him instead of coming on here. Because they don't nobody want to be bothered with no stuff like that. Reading baby must have fell asleep. I just thought about her. She probably asleep. Mm, B-Town, you sleep too? Oh, what's she respond? Oh no, she wide awake. Uh, B-Town, you should you should tell Love Blake, you sleep? I haven't seen her all day. Butter cinnamon bun. No, it wasn't you. I'm surprised. I'm surprised you and Shakira's awake. Rita baby done fell asleep. Yeah. She came on my chat when I was. Oh, Love Blake did. Oh, okay. She probably got sleepy. But she always talking about you. I bet y'all said I got this hat on. I got too much hair. Too much hair. Now I wait for some more. I wait for some more reading. You get up tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, this is just this one right here. This is a young girl. she was talking about when she was 26. Who's scared? Let's see. You know, oh, you know what those be dance with. Pretty tea glasses. Just no, 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 no. She tells she scares you. She the one that says yeah, smash it, smash. Lord have mercy. I can't hear that. I'd be like, no. And I have to click it off. Didn't know Trish was colors. So let's see. She came for corners like skin. Oh, did she? I guess you get to keep knowing the person, and then you really find out how they really are. Let me read this while y'all were discussing it. Corny needs more melon. Oh my goodness. Y'all can keep doing what you're doing. I'll read this one because Miss Big Town, she likes to hear these stories. I do too. Shay must be busy or done fell asleep. Okay. Into the light. I believe in miracles. I believe in life after death. I believe that each of us owns a divine purpose in all our energy forms, and every circumstance is necessary down to the tiniest of detail. I did not always think exactly in this manner. This is a God inspired philosophy that evolved over time. My worldly path, like most, was not easy and is certainly ongoing. Let's see. However, I will say I am a predominantly joyful person, full of hope. My family would lovingly and proudly tease me when I was a kid, saying, Lorna always sticks up for the underdog. My beautiful sister adds, perpetually looking at the world with rose colored glasses. They're right. This is how I choose to live. How I choose to see humanity. How I cherish myself and the ones I love. Please don't misunderstand. It is impossible to ignore all the sorrow and suffering of this world. It's just that I know we have unimaginable power as human beings to make our hearts and this world a better place. Uh, okay. Despite crime, inequality, hunger, war, poverty, evil, hate, deception, abuse, despite cancer, I believe in second chances. I believe there is always light at the end of the darkest tunnel. I believe that I can do anything through Christ who lives in my heart, making me pure and beautiful and smart and the woman that I am. When I was 26 years old, I began suffering from symptoms of ovarian cancer. 3 years later, I was wheeled into emergency and I was wheeled into surgery to remove what were thought to be benign cysts. I came out of that hospital with a whole new life. Gone was the false sense of security of good health. Gone was the dream of ever having children of my own. Stop. Without without reading the rest of this and seeing who wrote this story, I think I can guess. Well, I can't guess because I can't remember her name. Okay, but I do remember her from seeing her in the support group because she was the youngest out of all of those women. When I was 26, I began suffering from symptoms of ovarian cancer. 3 years later, I was wheeled into surgery to remove what were thought to be benign cysts. I came out of the hospital with a whole new life. Gone was the false sense of security of good health. Gone was the dream of ever having children of my own. Gone was a smooth belly without scarring and adhesive. I had cancer. That was a lot to understand. So I began my journey toward recovery. The pig-headed Laura has a huge sense of independence. Of independence. Let's see. Okay. Look. And a wild streak feeds that feeds an incredible, insatiable desire for adventure. No fear, huge confidence, no regrets. Gone with the pig-headed Lord. I was scared. I was sad. I felt alone. I believe God gives you what you need at every turn. Yes, yes. Um, I believe that when we love one another and expect the very best, people are innately good. I believe none of us are perfect, but we have a responsibility to do the right thing. Friends, I have lied, cheated, stolen, cussed, smoked, drank. I have prayed, loved, supported, dreamed, given, thanked until cancer. I had always known who I am, whether acting out or acting right. After that diagnosis, I froze in my grief and despair and fear. I was lost, confused, wedged, and it was odd that I found myself in the basement of a hospital attending an ovarian cancer support group. But whose but those women changed my life in so many wonderful ways. I learned how to reinvent myself, put others before me, express my pain, cry, and laugh again. I learned how to honor my body, delight in my gifts, cherish and forgive. I learned how to dream again, Have hope, give back, accept my loss, and soar. I learned that I am special if I set myself apart, and that cancer makes me stronger, not weaker. I learned that I am brave, unique, blessed, and beautiful despite my scars. I learned it is okay to be sad and angry, but better to do something about it for good. I learned every day is a gift, and I have an incredible family and a loving and kind husband. I believe that there is always someone who has a worse set of circumstances than my own. I believe that what we give, God gives us back tenfold. I believe that when the fog of fear is lifted, we have an amazing glimpse at paradise. My ovarian support, my ovarian cancer support group sisters mean more to me than they would even imagine. They have taught me so much and encouraged me in everything I undertake. I carry each of them in my heart and am so grateful to have known every one of these darling warriors. They are my inspiration, my hope, my reason, and a gift far beyond measure. I love them. I thank them. I rejoice in their beauty. They make me not afraid. I believe that when I die, I will have eternal life. I believe that in heaven, God would help me paint the sunsets. I believe that in spirit form, I will have a greater ability to love and guide and protect those who are most important to me. And this was written by Laura Williams. Scripture. See the jot. So you have known for a while. Jot doing now. You have known. Jason Wrench. Tater Tot. Who the heck is Tater Tots?
On the same playing field or level, because I believe that you have a heart that pumps blood, and I'm not going to throw any shade about what his heart pumps. I don't know, but all I'm going to say is this. I'm glad that I called in and heard what you said.
Oh, oh Lord, that's that woman that was on. Oh no, there was that woman that was on James Caldwell's. The one that talked so long and slow. I don't know how it started playing. Yeah, my computer restart. It's restarting, so I don't know how that started playing. Ooh. I could not keep watching, listening to her. She when I left, she was still on that phone. I was like, lady, if you don't finish saying what you're talking about and get off the phone. And James with his patient self. Oh, yeah, yeah, James. James is a good man. He's sweet. She's a sweetheart. I was hung up on her. She need to, because Lord knows she was, yeah, yeah. Put my head on backwards. No, that's not gonna work. You just like, yeah. But that's from, that's from having so much experience in dealing with people good and bad. That's why he could be so patient and be nice nasty when he need to be. Mhm. And it's when it when it he looks so clean. He is. Didn't it sound uh, kind of weird to hear that I'm all those people named that I named, I'm older than them. Even I know uh, Olivia the Oracle. People think she's like old. She's not. She's not that old. I'm older than she is. I'm older than everybody. I'm older than Jay Wilson, Tracy, 5A. Who else? Uh, older than Sean Bradley. I'm older than Tracy. All them, all of them knuckleheads. Um, uh, what's her name? Nicole Tyler. I know it. But she's not old. Mm-mm. I, I don't think Olivia's been about her age and you thing to cop. Thank you. Yeah, I kind of wondered. She she is 50. Yeah, see, I think she around that age. Now, if she said she was 40 something, I don't think she's 40 something. I think she's in her 50. She probably 50. Now, Nicole Tyler, she says she's 47. Yeah, people thought that Olivia was that old, but she's not that old. Nicole's 48. Yeah, see, I'm older than everything on body, but yeah, I have to say, uh, I don't look it. Mhm. But yeah, and then that lady, the one that be saying she gonna put a Olivia has her wisdom. Yeah, yeah, she does. Uh, the lady that supposedly put the spells on Jay Wilson. What's her name? Um, Ushan, or something like that. She left a comment on my video. I was like, okay, I don't want this lady putting I don't want to put nothing on me. I'm older than Trish. So it's like, it's, yeah, Trish is Trish may be in her. You think she 37? You think Trish 37? Go for me, so she can get Bryce too close. It looked like Trish is in her 40s too. Yeah, maybe. Mm, I don't know. It's just hard to tell. I wonder how old she. She always try to comfort people. I think she's in her 40s. Yeah. Oh, you see, I mean Jason. Mm. Yeah, and that lady, ooh, 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 or is it Mushan, or whatever it was. But I had said something about wisdom and knowledge. She was like, well, that's the thing. They don't know nothing about it. Mm, 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 mm. And you know, they show these, uh, uh, I forgot the commercials on TV about all the infomercials. Um, this spray stuff called grease police. They'll sit there and they'll spray that stuff on the dirtiest pot, the bottom of it. You know how it burned and all, and they spray that stuff on just to ease it, and then they just wipe it off. It make you go, I need to get some of that. uh, I don't know. They got 100% guarantee on it. Mm, but I want to know what you got in that bottle that it's gonna take the black burn stuff off the bottom of a pot. I don't know. wonder what they got in that bottle. Mm-hmm. Did you watch Times from? No, I couldn't. It was it was real nice. I looked at it, but I couldn't. Mm-mm. I remember being a kid having to scrub those old pot. Ooh, yes. And now they supposedly got a spray. You spread some on there, and then you can take a. They took this white cloth and just wiped it, and it was spanking brand new. Look, I'm like, I wanted to do that work. I wanted to do that work. Make you wanna buy something to see. Mm, mm, mm. This old movie called Police Story. It's one of those old the the doggone police cars. The lights be on the lights that's on top of the police cars. You know, they don't have the bars like we have now. They have the two round. So you know this show is old, real old. Well, I guess he going to jail too. Alrighty. Started. Stop. Okay, going to sleep, ladies. Going to play this song. Talk to you later. Alright, of course. We will see you later. Have a good night, morning, sleep. Yeah, I'm gonna get off here in a little bit too, because I'm sitting here about to go to sleep. You have a good one. Mm, All right, Big Town. I'm gonna get off here too, so I can lay it down. And I guess I will see y'all tomorrow or tonight sometimes. Alrighty then. Alright, Shakira. I enjoyed y'all. Appreciate you. I will see y'all in the next video. Out of here.